Trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $12,500 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to $6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at The Other Place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The Other Place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
Welcome to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. I'm Pat Curtis along with Keith Bornes, and it's high school playoff football tonight, a Class 4A game between West Des Moines Valley and the Ankeny Hawks. Keith, Valley 9-0 entering this contest, probably heavily favored, but last year they were heavily favored in an opening round playoff game, and it didn't go so well for the Tigers.
Not so much. And one of the things that we need to first understand is, you know, Ankeny comes in, they're 5-4, but they're not 5-4 because of talent. They're 5-4 because of their experience. They are sophomore loaded. And now those guys have a full season under their belt. They're going to be a different team tonight than they were the first game of the season. And if you look back as to last year's game that you were talking about, Council Bluffs Lewis Central came in, and they kept it close all night. And as we found out, the longer they were in the game, the longer they were in the game. And everybody kind of felt it was an upset, and I don't think Valley wants to try and relive that again tonight.
The Valley players and Coach Gary Swenson remember that game well. Coach Swenson will talk about that coming up here shortly. We'll hear from the coaches. Ankeny, you mentioned there are 4 losses on the year, but they're to 4 very good teams. In fact, those 4 teams are also in the playoffs.
In the playoffs as well, yeah. You start off your year playing against Ankeny Centennial. Centennial right now ranked number 1 in the RPI. Then they had a loss to Johnston, a loss to Dowling. Very formidable opponents. You take a look at Southeast Polk. Southeast Polk is in the same boat. They're a very good football team, but had to play those higher-ranked teams early on before they got into district play.
All right, those are the Schottenkirk Chevrolet keys to the game, brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet and Keith Bornes. The weather brought to you by Shields, 52 degrees, cloudy, just a typical late October night here in Iowa.
It's actually pretty nice if you compare it to the last 2 regular season games. The temperature's holding in there pretty well, and with not much wind.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, when we come back after this break, we'll hear from the head coaches, Gary Swenson and Ankeny coach Rick Nelson, right after this on CISN.TV.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at The Other Place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The Other Place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. Having a little trouble getting the coaches' interviews, but had a chance earlier this week to talk to both Ankeny coach Rick Nelson and, of course, Valley coach Gary Swenson. Coach Swenson talking about that loss last year in the playoffs, reminding his team about that they'll have to take Ankeny very serious tonight, even though the Tigers, at least on paper, are heavily favored in this one, coming in 9-0. They've been ranked number 1 in the Radio Iowa poll pretty much all season long since beating Dowling in Week 2. Valley starting the season with a 21-7 win over Southeast Polk, then that big win over Dowling, 20-6, and then several blowout losses mixed in with a very good ball game against Waukee that the Tigers won 28-27. The Ankeny Hawks come into this game with a 5-4 record. They finished 4-1 in District 1. Their losses came in the first 3 weeks to Ankeny Centennial, Johnston, and Cedar Falls. Coach Rick Nelson talked about how his team was really in all those games, although the Cedar Falls score ended up 28-7. Ankeny led that game 7-0. And Coach Nelson also saying really their only game that they weren't in that they lost this year was at Dowling. That was a 42-0 score. So we're just about 4 minutes away from the start of this ball game. Ankeny and Valley, the first round of the Class 4A playoffs. Right now, let's take a timeout on CISN.TV.
Trade-in, trade-up event at Shuttleworth Chevy Waukee. Up to 12,500 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Shuttleworth Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WalkieChevy.com.
All right, Pat Curtis joined by Keith Bornes on CISN.TV. High school football on CISN.TV, brought to you by Mid-American Energy. our 100% renewable vision. Also The Other Place, serving your favorite since 1970. Here we go, Keith. It is Ankeny kicking off from your right to left, and Valley in the dark uniforms, the black trimmed in orange and white. Ankeny with the white away uniforms, of course, trimmed in maroon and gold. And so Valley will start on offense, led by quarterback Bo Lombardi, the senior, who's had another terrific season, passing for over 1,400 yards and 12 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions. And behind him in the backfield is Trey Fugate, the senior, who's coming up on 1,000 yards rushing for the season. Fugate with the carry to the far side, and he's got a lot of room, a first down and more, about a 15-yard carry on the first play from scrimmage.
An outstanding job by the Valley offensive line, getting off the ball and creating a gap. Trey Fugate has exploited gaps smaller than that, and when he got some daylight there, he kind of exploded up there for a gain of, 17 yards, 16 yards?
It will be first down and 10 Tigers from their own 36. Lombardi has 3 receivers, but it's another handoff to Fugate. A flag flies. Fugate has another big gain of about at least 20 yards, but we'll see if this will be coming back.
Pat, we talk about those penalty flags, and after a big play like this, it's in that area of potential hold, and so instead of you're looking at a 25-yard gain, you're now at a 12-yard loss because of where the spot was. That is a big, big penalty.
Talk about what Ankeny needs to do to win this game. Their defense has 17 takeaways in 9 games. I'm sure they're looking for some kind of turnover will help them.
What Ankeny really does well, they have 3 down linemen, so they're kind of a 3-4 defense, but they bring those outside linebackers up to play like a drop end. So you got 7 guys in the box, you got 2 standing up on the outside, still on the line of scrimmage. They're going to try and get in and disrupt handoffs and passing lanes early.
First down and 22, another handoff to Fugate. About a 6-yard gain. Just underway here, opening round of the Class 4A playoffs, Valley against Ankeny. J.J. Gass coming into the game at wide receiver for the Tigers. 4 receivers here for this second down and 15 call. Shotgun now for Lombardi. And it's a handoff, and Fugate slips and maybe got a yard or 2.
Ankeny right now is doing a very nice job getting into their gaps. Brecken Manis, their leading tackler, 55 tackles on the year as a sophomore, and he has been in and disrupting a few plays. And that's the goal, get in there and disrupt the timing of things.
3rd and 15 Tigers, 10 minutes to go in the opening quarter. This is the first passing play for the Tigers, and it overshoots. I believe that was probably Ryan knew he was looking for, but some miscommunication maybe, Keith?
Yeah, two wide receivers are about 10 yards apart. New broke the pattern off, and it just sailed right over the top of his head. It looked like it just split both receivers.
So good start for Ankeny here. They force a punt from Cole Peterson on this 4th and 15. And a high punt out to the Ankeny 40. A great Valley bounce. It looks like Ankeny will have their first possession starting from their own 18-yard line.
Well, there you go, Pat. It's time to review the rules of the kicking game. Number 1, don't be offsides. Number 2, don't rough the kicker or the holder. And as we saw right here, don't let the ball hit the ground. On average, it's a 15-yard loss.
Cole Peterson, a great year as the kicker and punter for the Tigers. He's averaging about 36 yards per punt, a long of 56. Not sure where that was punted from, but that might be his long of the season right there with the roll. Here we go, our first look at the Ankeny offense and quarterback Jace Bauer. He will run a lot, and we've got a fumble, and it looks like the Tigers have it.
Nice job by J.J. McCudden to get in there, disrupt things. One of the things that Valley really needs to be aware of is not only can Jace Bauer throw the ball, he's thrown for over 1,000 yards around the year, but he's also rushed for over 400. He is truly a dual-threat quarterback. And so when he's getting into the mid part of that line and trying to push forward, make sure you got the ball covered because Valley will be scrapping for that ball, trying to rip it out.
Our first turnover of the game, 9:35 in the first quarter. I think they called Bracken Cobb for the recovery. Is that right?
Yes.
And passing is Lombardi looking to the end zone, intercepted, back-to-back turnovers. And with some running room here to the near side, let's see, that is Nick Shirley. His third interception. He leads the team in that category. Wow, what a big...
But you think about, Nick Shirley being in the right spot, and he has been in the right spot a lot this year for Ankeny, as he's got, as you just said, this third interception. But that interception wasn't made necessarily by Shirley because of where he was. It was the pressure that Ankeny got on Lombardi, disrupted the timing, and he threw high because he had a defender in his face.
So back-to-back turnovers and a great return by Shirley out to midfield. He caught that near the goal line.
Yeah, I think it was right around the 5 and brought that back out to the 49 and was surrounded a few times. We said early on, Ankeny is 5-4, not because of talent, but because of experience. They're young. Nick Shirley is, a junior? And, he looked like a running back after he got the ball, after he made that interception. And so they have great athletes all over the field. So it'll be an interesting matchup. They're not a team to be overlooked.
Shirley is one of their kickoff and punt returners. As you mentioned, a junior. When we see this offense here again, Jace Bauer and Cale Boyd, the quarterback and running back, both sophomores. We have an injured player on the Valley sideline. I don't know if it's a Valley or a Ankeny player for sure.
But there are quite a few people around.
This gives us a chance to tell you that the Iowa High School Athletic Association would like to take this opportunity to remind you that sportsmanship starts with you. Good sportsmanship means showing respect to student athletes, coaches, officials, schools, and to those around you, regardless of how an event is going. Good sportsmanship shows character, accountability, and sets a positive example on and off the field. The Iowa High School Athletic Association thanks you for being a good sport for tonight's game.
The injured player there was Mr. Shaner, Zach Shaner, the starting center. And so Bo Lombardi is actually getting some snaps from the backup center on the sideline, getting ready for the next series.
Here's the first carry of the game for Cale Boyd, and about 2-3 yards.
I was standing down on the sideline before the game started, watching the teams warm up. And, when you hear that they have sophomores playing for them, they don't look like sophomores. Mm-hmm. They are some big, athletic-looking kids. And I'm pretty impressed with the stature that the quarterback, Chase Bauer, actually has.
Here's another running play. Bauer with the keeper. It'll be 3rd and short. So it looks like what Valley's going to do is move Mason Ayers to center.
Yes.
He's the starting left guard.
Now, another thing that Valley needs to be cognizant of, and anybody that knows anything about centers and long snappers, Zach Shaner is the starting center. He's also the long snapper, so there's a few adjustments that Valley needs to take into consideration here.
Yeah. Big 3rd down and 4 here for the Hawks. A passing play. Bauer has a receiver. It might be intercepted. It is. And on the interception, number 24,
Drew Urach.
Another one.
Yes, he had 7 during the regular season. He's number 2 in 4A with 7 interceptions, now number 8. So that is back-to-back turnovers, and I think both teams are now talking in their huddles on the sideline saying, all right, let's just calm down and start playing our game of football.
Wow. Drew Urach with 8 interceptions in just over 9 games this season. 3 turnovers already, 2 for Ankeny, 1 for Valley. Here's Fugate with the carry, and a great cutback and a huge gain of about more than 20 yards into Ankeny territory at the 43.
Trey Fugate is now closing in on that 1,000-yard season. One of many Valley running backs that has been able to hit the 1,000-yard mark. So he's just got a couple more yards to go before he hits that.
Lombardi under center. Again, Mason Ayers now snapping the ball. Here's Fugate with another carry over Jake Remsburg and about a 5-yard gain.
Jake Remsburg, the Iowa State recruit. That's not a bad side to run to. He has had several key blocks all the way through the season. Ayers coming in, and, as far as snapping jitters, he doesn't appear to have any right now.
Trying to see, as Ayers moved to center, who moved over to his position. Fugate another carry and a nice tackle there, I believe, Ray J. Crawford.
Mo Watson was also in on that, but so were all 3 defensive linemen and 2 of the linebackers. The more pressure that Ankeny can dial up, the better off they're going to be. Valley's a very disciplined offensive line. They have their reads. They do their steps correctly, but if the defense is faster, the disruption is going to cause a little havoc.
3rd and 6. Lombardi being pressured. He gets it away, puts it up for somebody to try and catch, and it falls incomplete. Boy, that was Romello Gray, the nose guard for Ankeny, closing in on Lombardi.
And Romello Gray knows how to tackle people. He is a very good wrestler for Ankeny as well. And so Bo and Romello have seen each other on mats. I don't know that they've ever wrestled each other.
Not quite the same size there.
But they certainly know each other.
Romello Gray listed at 6'2", 315. Peterson punting from midfield. And this is a little bit shorter. And it dies right at about the 16-yard line. That's where Ankeny will take over. 1st and 10 with 6:19 to go in the first quarter. No score between Valley and Ankeny. We've had 3 turnovers, 2 by Ankeny, 1 by Valley. Valley's punted a couple of times.
I'm going to tell you right now, my vote for player of the game right now, and this probably isn't going to surprise anybody from South Bend to San Antonio right now, but Matthew, oh my gosh, he's not on the roster, and I just lost his name for a second. I'm so excited for him. But he's a sophomore. He just came in, and so we're looking for him. Number 86, not on the program.
Well, while you try and figure that out, Cale Boyd runs for 2-3 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for Ankeny. And here's a passing play. And breaking loose on that far side for a 1st down. We'll try and catch that number. But Ankeny with a big gain there by Jordan Cum, the junior wide receiver, number 14. He has 13 receptions now on the season. Well over 200 yards receiving.
Matthew Mahoney is the new long snapper. My apologies to the Mahoney family. Man, I was so excited my brain shut off.
That was a good snap.
It was a great snap.
Here's Bauer with the keeper up the middle and a flag on the field on that 1st and 10 play.
I think there might have been a couple of fingers in the face mask. So that could add a few more yards onto the end of the run.
Tackled by Jacob McCudden. Face mask against Logan Kruzman. And a 1st down for Ankeny at their own 44 now.
That was just the 5-yard variety. He didn't mean it.
We didn't get to hear the coach's comments before the game, but talking to both of them, they mentioned these two teams don't meet often at all. They scrimmage, though, at the beginning of every year with each other.
They do, yeah.
Complete pass there.
Both Coach Swenson and Coach Nelson have a great deal of respect for each other, and because we haven't been on each other's schedules, the state does allow a scrimmage with somebody that's not on your regular season schedule, and so they know a little bit about each other because they practiced together one night back in early August.
They've done that for about the last 3-4 years, I think.
Yes.
Here's 2nd down and 10. Bauer again will keep it, and C.J. Stillman says hello at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job by Stillman to come in there and finish off that play. Yeah, last week, Brecken Cobb had a fumble recovery tonight, but last week over at North, Stillman and Brecken Cobb raced each other into the end zone after a bad snap, and Stillman was able to get the fumble recovery actually for a touchdown.
3rd and 8. Under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Bauer has a receiver open. Can they connect? Yes, they can. That's Brody Brecht with the big gain. Let's see here. About 43 yards on that pass from Bauer to Brecht.
Brecht, also a sophomore and a basketball player. He does a very nice job on the basketball floor. Got a little bit of height to him.
1st and 10, Ankeny at the Valley 11. Here's a 3-yard gain maybe. That was Bauer with the keeper.
This is one of those drives where if Ankeny had any questions about what they can do in a game like this, they're probably getting them answered right now, gaining some confidence.
Bauer has it again. He's getting close to the goal line. Some of his teammates try to push him in, but he's going to be short. It'll be very close to a 1st down, though, at the 1-yard line. Tackled by Stillman. Timeout for measurement. So it'll be 3rd and 1 or 3rd and inches at the 1, or it'll be a 1st down and goal.
I'm wondering if the official will ask for a little bit of time to be put back on the clock, as it appeared to run a little bit after they wanted the stoppage of it.
First down and goal for Ankeny at the 1. So that big 40-plus yard pass from Bauer to Brecht setting this up. Bauer with a few carries. First and goal at the 1. I imagine we might just see a quarterback sneak here.
Well,
look who's in there. That's Romello Gray at fullback.
But he can also just give a nice little push to the quarterback as well.
Instead, it's a handoff to Boyd, who comes up short. Second down goal coming. Gray comes out. Maybe not. He might still be in there.
No, he came out.
Okay. It's hard to see a lot of these white jerseys, the numbers all year. Again, second and goal at the 1. Right now, Bauer is in shotgun, and it's
Philadelphia special.
Yes, it's Bauer for a touchdown in the corner of the end zone. That thrown by Brody Brecht. So Bauer to Brecht to set up the touchdown, and then for the touchdown, it's Brecht to Bauer.
What's that? Is that alliteration?
2:41 left in the first quarter. Ankeny, the first team to put points on the board. Jake McCann made 32 of 34 point-after attempts, and he makes one here to give Ankeny a 7-0 lead on Valley. 2:41 to go in the first quarter on CISN.TV.
The trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to 12.5 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages.
So a trio of sophomores for Ankeny with a little trick play of sorts to give the Hawks their first touchdown of the game. It was a handoff, I believe, to Cale Boyd, who pitched it to Brody Brecht, who threw to Jace Bauer in the end zone.
Deep back for Valley right now with Trey Fugate is number 49. He's not in the program right now. He's a sophomore, Jaden Williams.
And is that, now this will be Fugate. So sort of a line drive kickoff, and Fugate breaks several tackles, still on his feet at the 35, near the 40. Great return for the senior running back for the Tigers.
I was a little surprised that that McCann did not get the ball into the end zone. He has a phenomenal leg. I was watching him down in warm-ups, and he was just kind of doing little pooch kicks that were sailing 40 yards. So the first one, first kickoff of the night, he almost put out of the back of the end zone, but that one just kind of line drived. And sometimes your goal is to just get it deep, have them set up a return, and get them stopped inside the 20. But that did not work well in Ankeny's favor on this kickoff return.
At the break, you were telling me Dowling leading Fort Dodge 14-0.
Still in the first.
Here it's Ankeny 7, Valley 0, and a big tackle there by Romello Gray for a loss.
Peyton Terry.
Yep, Peyton Terry actually.
In there, and he tackled a lot of people in that play. But that's right now, Ankeny they're controlling the line of scrimmage. They're disrupting the timing of handoffs, and if they can keep that speed rush going, it'll be interesting to see how Valley responds to it.
Second down and long. Lombardi passing to Ryan New across midfield. He's going to bring up 3rd down and long here, still about 8 yards after that 5-6 yard pickup.
Valley trying to catch Ankeny a little bit asleep as they bring in that wide receiver slip screen. And Ryan New, over his career so far, he's kind of made a living off of it. He's got very good hands, got great speed.
This year he's got 17 receptions, 250 yards, and a touchdown. A minute to go in the first quarter. Here's another passing play for Lombardi. A great catch by Wilcoxon out here, but he's going to be short of the first down mark. It's going to be 4th and about 2.
That was a great play call by Coach Swenson as he brought Wilcoxon out of the backfield. And it was there, it was open. The pass just a little bit high, and it disrupted Wilcoxon's stride. Yep. Was not able to get the first, but what a remarkable catch. He's had a few of them. Leading Valley right now with 286 yards on the season. He has approximately 250 more receiving yards than he does rushing yards, and he's the fullback.
3 touchdowns, 18 receptions overall. He's got a long of 46. A timeout here by Valley, a big call coming up. It's 4th and 2, Keith, with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter, and Ankeny leading 7-0.
Yeah, this is it's decision time. You know, do we want to try and keep the ball in our hands? Coach Swenson would be thinking keeping the ball in our hands and making sure that we get these 2 yards, or do we go ahead and we have the option of a quick kick with Bo Lombardi back there. You have a new long snapper that came in off that first punt and had a great snap. So hopefully he's going to be in a situation where he can settle in. But it does appear as though Valley is going to come in and go for it on 4th and 2.
How about this? They're at their own 48, needing to get 2 yards.
And
timeout Ankeny.
And the chess match continues.
Let's take a quick timeout here before we come back with this 4th down and 2 play. This is CISN.TV.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it.
4th and 2 coming up here for Valley. We've had 2 timeouts in a row as looks like the Tigers are going to go for it. I'm wondering, Keith, how much of a factor that Zach Shaner is out of the game plays into this decision.
Well, it has something to do with it, but at the same time, you know, the new long snapper came in, Matthew Mahoney came in, had a great snap. I don't know that they're concerned about that as much as just trying to build some momentum.
Here we go, a handoff to Fugate, and he's got the first down across the 50.
That was a fantastic job by Fugate. He had an initial push by the offensive line, but he finished that all on his own. Great leg drive.
Looked like Romello Gray lost his helmet on that play, so he'll have to come out for at least one play, right?
Yeah, he does. And, you know, he laid on the ground for just a little bit, I think out of frustration than anything else. But anytime a Romello Gray goes down on the ground, your trainers are going to be out there pretty quick.
So a big 4th and 2, first down pickup for the Tigers. They're now in Ankeny territory at the 49, and not sure we'll get a playoff here before the end of the first quarter. This play will count. About a 4-yard gain for Fugate At the end of one quarter of play, it's Ankeny 7, Valley 0 on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or medals, but the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
7-0, Ankeny over Valley, with the Tigers now driving a little bit, picking up a 4th down and 2, and another 5-yard run. It'll be 2nd down and 6 when we resume play here.
Nice job by Valley to pick up that first down, and it is a key first down. There's plenty of time left in the game, but what you don't want to do is let the game get away from you. And so there are situations where it is vital that you answer. You know, giving up the touchdown, well, we know Ankeny's going to score. They're too good a team not to. And so the 7 points, in Valley's mind, not that big a deal. Not responding to the 7 points, that would be a big deal.
Yeah, Ankeny led Cedar Falls 7-0 in the 3rd week of the season, ended up losing that one 28-7. Here we go, 2nd and 6, Tigers. Lombardi under center. Looks like he's going to pass, and he's got Wilcoxon, but no gain there. Nice job by the Hawks picking up on that.
You know, as young as Ankeny's team is, they made that screen read very well. Valley's offensive line held him up for just a second, and then all of a sudden moved downfield. Clear shot at the quarterback, but as the old adage is, if it's too easy, you better stop and retreat. They did exactly that. Instead of having it be a 10, 15-yard gain, it was a 2-yard gain.
3rd and 5. At the bottom of your screen, that's J.J. Gass and Jack Johnson, as Lombardi looks that way but is hit as he throws, and that falls incomplete. It'll be 4th and 5, Valley.
Something that Valley needs to take into consideration here is how many hits can Bo take. He is a big, strong kid, but there are some boxers out there that are great, big, strong boxers. There were 2 Valley receivers open. Lombardi had his eyes on one of them. The hit came and disrupted everything. It's an incomplete pass. It's a 4th down, but it's also another hit on the quarterback.
Here's Peterson, gets a booming punt off. It'll be a fair catch called at the 5-yard line. So Ankeny will take over 1st and 10 at their own 5.
Connor Niffenegger, the senior, that's kind of a mistake to go ahead and take the fair catch inside the 5-yard line. 90% of the time, it's probably going to roll into the end zone. So we'll see what Ankeny will dial up after that. But on the positive, another great snap by Matthew Mahoney. First varsity game jitters, not slowing him down at all.
Jace Bauer, who has the Hawks touchdown, is now passing, and Brody Brecht is his target. They hooked up for a big 40-plus yard gain in their last possession, and this is complete for another big gain, but there's a flag down.
Yeah, we'll see what the laundry has to say about it. You have to be impressed with Brecht when it comes to his size and being able to manage his size as a sophomore. He's 6'4". No wonder he's playing basketball. Mm-hmm. Illegal man downfield, the call.
Zach Steffen flagged there, the center. Yeah, Brecht, 23 catches for just about 400 yards now on the season, 5 touchdowns for the Hawks. Big penalty there, obviously. It's 1st and 13. Here's Cale Boyd out to the 9-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
One of the things I'm noticing about Ankeny's overall team speed, it's pretty impressive. They're able to get in and out of the huddle quick, in and off the sideline quick, and they are moving downfield very quickly. Speed can certainly wear out size a lot of times.
No gain on that play. It'll be 3rd down and a long 7 or 8 coming up here for the Hawks. High school football on CISN TV is brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet. If it's not the power price, it's not the lowest price. Also, the Better Business Bureau, recommendations you can trust.
Big 3rd down here for Ankeny.
The Hawks lead 7-0. We're early in the 2nd quarter. A handoff on this 3rd down and long to Cale Boyd, and no gain. Jacob McCudden and C.J. Stillman likely in on that tackle.
As a matter of fact, they were.
It'll be a punting situation. Jake McCann averaging about 32, 33 yards a punt this season, a long of 47.
But he's left-footed. And if he gets a spiral off, sometimes taking a punt from a left-footed kicker, that spin just feels a little bit different.
A whistle before this kick. Okay, timeout Ankeny. Will come back with the punt after this on CISN.TV.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Fourth and 5 for Ankeny on their own 10-yard line. Back deep for the Tigers to receive this punt. Looks like Ryan New, and who's the other player out there? Shaner?
Carson Shelton.
Shelton, I mean. And it is Ryan New. He's got some room up the middle across the 35 to the 30. Oh, a fumble, and it's picked up by the Hawks.
Just as you think the tide might be changing a little bit, a turnover at an inopportune time.
Ryan New was down on the field, but gets up holding his arm. Hopefully he'll be okay, but he fumbles, and that is the second turnover for Valley.
So 2 apiece.
What a turn of events, because the Tigers were going to have great field position here.
Yeah, Ryan New did a great job catching the punt and then attacking it straight upfield. There was a gap there, and when you hit that gap full speed, you usually are going to get some pretty good yards. But just a little mishandling of the ball.
Bauer looking to pass. He goes deep into double coverage, but it's still caught by Brody Brecht.
Brody Brecht has a very good size advantage when it comes to his height. He also has very good speed. Right now, the Valley defensive backfield just trying to figure out what they're going to do to try and keep him off balance.
Already Brecht closing in on 100 yards receiving on this in this first half. A 43-yard pass caught earlier in the first quarter, and now this one good for about 35 yards. First down and 10 Ankeny, a couple yards on that carry by Bauer.
Clayton Adamson and Roy Jensen in on that stop, which is pretty unique considering that they're both corners and got in on the quarterback as he was going up the middle of the offensive line.
Second down and 6 for the Hawks at the Valley 30. Another pass play to Brecht. He breaks a couple tackles. He has a first down at the 18 of Valley.
Right now, Ankeny seemingly taking a couple of plays out of the Centennial playbook. A lot of times it's not the outside receivers that are gash Valley's defense as much as it is the inside receiver that kind of plays a tight end hybrid and is able to sit in between the seam, get in between the zones in the zone coverage. And Brecht has been able to make some pretty good adjustments there, but what they have here on the play, a hold or a ineligible downfield?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the call was, but obviously a penalty on Ankeny. And even worse for the Hawks, Brody Brecht limped off the field, but he did go off on his own power. Hopefully he'll be okay. Here's Bauer back to pass on 2nd and long, looking for, we've got a flag, but it is intercepted at the goal line by Valley. But what will the call be?
Well, it's going to be very interesting to see what happens because Valley did have
it's against Valley.
They did have the inside. The Valley fans are not going to be happy about that, as it appeared the wide receiver was going to come over the top, and it could have been an offensive pass interference.
I'm surprised with this call. He had the position.
Yes.
Holding. So before the...
Had to have been before the ball was in the air or as it was in the air. Long before we saw the end of the play.
All right, so 2nd down and 1. Big break for the Hawks. They have the ball at the Valley 25 again, 2nd and 1. Bauer hands it off on the end around. It's a first down and down to the 10-yard line. Let's see.
Connor Niffenegger.
All right.
Senior wide receiver and defensive back. He was able to turn that corner well. Brody Brecht back into the game. Right now on the far side as all of the Ankeny players getting the play from the sideline.
1st and 10 from the 11. And this is Cale Boyd. Not getting much on that first down play.
Sometimes the enemy to being tired is being frustrated as well, and so Valley's defense is going to have to settle in and see if they can recover from this.
5 receivers for Bauer, who just keeps it, and Valley is not fooled on that one. This will be 3rd and 10 from the 11.
Nice job by Nick Butoff, collapsing in off the edge, getting the stop on Chase Bauer.
We're under halfway through this second quarter. 3rd and 10, the Valley crowd cheering for their defense. Timeout by Ankeny. This is their final timeout of the first half. We'll come back with the 3rd down and 10 play after this on CISN.TV.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
Pat Curtis and Keith Bornes on CISN.TV. Valley and Ankeny, a first-round high school playoff game. Ankeny trying to get back into the playoffs after missing out last year. Valley made the playoffs last year but lost in the first round, kind of a stunner to Council Bluffs Lewis Central, and they're trying to avoid an upset here again in the first round of the playoffs in 2018. It's 3rd down and 10, Hawks. Actually, it's basically goal to go.
Yeah, 3rd and goal from the 11.
And a wide open run to the end zone for a touchdown. Cale Boyd on 3rd and goal from the 11.
A very well-designed play by Ankeny there. Valley is trying to get themselves ready to stop the pass on 3rd and long. There was nobody interrupting Boyd as he had a clear path to the 1, and there were 2 receivers there set up to make the block.
Jake McCann with the point after. It's good. Ankeny 14, Valley 0. 5:35 to go in the first half on CISN.TV.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Ankeny leading 9-0 Valley, 14-0 here at Valley Stadium.
And as we talked, the very first games of the year against some very tough opponents, but they're a young team. And they have really come together and gelled, kind of as we predicted a little bit here. They're 5-4, not because of talent, but because of just experience. And the experience, they've grown into their team.
What does the Valley offense have to do to get something on the board before halftime?
Right now it's just ball security and to keep the ball moving. Valley came out and ran the ball very well. They have to learn how to deal with the pressure that Ankeny is dialing up. They're just bull rushing upfield so quickly.
Here's a pass to the far side. I believe this is Gass for a first down pickup. About a 14-yard pass from Lombardi. That is J.J. Gass.
And that is certainly one way to get rid of that bull rush. If they're rushing 7 and 8 guys, outside's going to be open if you can get there.
1st and 10 Valley. They're at their own 34. Lombardi again to pass. And he's got a receiver on the far side. I believe Nicky Train, good for a 5-yard pickup.
Nice job. You just start to try and nickel and dime your way down the field. Ankeny's playing on emotion right now, so you got to get some of that emotion off their sideline and get it back onto your own sideline. And this is certainly a way to do that if Valley can maintain 3, 4, 5 yards at a time.
Lombardi on the 2nd down play is pressured and dropped for a loss. Did the ball come out? No, but it is a sack. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
And not just a sack, but a hard sack. Lombardi went down hard.
He's okay. Romello Gray credited with the sack. A couple other Hawks in there as well. Third and 9 for Valley. 4:38 to go in the first half. Grant Clark into the game.
Trips to the far side.
Lombardi rolling that way, but looking back for Jack Johnson, who looked kind of the wrong way. There's a bump and a flag for pass interference on the Hawks, and it wasn't necessary, really.
It really wasn't. That ball was downfield quite a ways, and Ankeny just threw Jack Johnson to the ground, so that'll be a pass interference on the defense.
So big break for the Tigers here. They'll move to the 50-yard line with that penalty.
Cooper Cox had very good coverage there, but yeah, that little extracurricular at the end didn't help his cause.
Again, Mason Ayers now the center for Valley after Zach Shaner went out with an injury. A big pickup here by Fugate. About a 30-yard run.
And Pat, that just put Mr. Fugate over the 1,000-yard mark on the season and Valley into a hurry-up.
1st and 10 at the Ankeny 20. Again, the Hawks have no timeouts. Whoa. This time Fugate brought down behind the line of scrimmage, a 2-yard loss. Brecken Manis, I think, in on that tackle.
It wouldn't surprise me. He's been everywhere tonight, and he's been everywhere all season for Ankeny. He is truly a very good linebacker as a sophomore, or at any age for that matter.
2nd down and 11 from the Ankeny 21. Valley driving. A handoff to Fugate. And he cuts back to the 15, across down to the 13-yard line. Nice run by the senior, Trey Fugate. It'll be 3rd down, about 3 to go for the first.
Nice job by Mason Ayers and Jake Remsburg to get downfield, opening up those holes.
High formation, Wilcoxon and Fugate behind Lombardi for 3rd and 4. Fugate, a big hole. He's got the 1st down, it looks like, across the 10. He does.
One of the things we're going to try and do is figure out who number 64 is for Valley. He is on the offensive line. It could be, I'd say it's possible that it could be Colby Christensen. Christensen normally a tight end, but maybe had to come in and fill in as that tackle position.
Fugate again, tackled by Ray J. Crawford at the 2-yard line. That'll be 2nd and goal from the 2 or 3.
And the other reason I'm thinking it could be Colby Christensen, he's the only other guy on the team that's as tall as Remsburg.
2nd and goal from the 3. Lombardi to Fugate again, right over Remsburg and into the end zone.
Touchdown first. He broke the plane before he lost possession.
Trey Fugate, a 3-yard touchdown run. That's Valley. That puts Valley on the board. 14-6 now, Ankeny with the point after coming from Tinsley Wright.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, you're in for a treat. Tim Miller, former Valley principal, just stepped into the press box.
Tinsley Wright, good. It's Ankeny now leading 14-7. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half on CISN.TV.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing.
Trey Fugate with a big 30-yard run into Ankeny territory, and then he caps it off a 3-yard dive, putting Valley on the board here. They trail Ankeny 14-7, under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Tinsley Wright to do the kickoff duties this time for Valley. A line shot toward the end zone. Oh, it went out ahead of the pylon.
Out of bounds at the half-inch line, so that was a little costly. Ankeny will more than likely take it at the 35-yard line.
Iowa High School playoff football on CISN TV is brought to you by Mid-American Energy, our 100% renewable vision. And playoff football on CISN TV brought to you by The Other Place, serving your favorite since 1970.
Well, in that last drive, we were able to see Valley's hurry-up offense. I imagine with 1:49, we'll see a little bit of hustle from Ankeny.
This is a handoff to Boyd. Gets a couple of yards. Again, Ankeny out of timeouts. Valley has 2 left. Any chance the Tigers, I mean, they could, if they stop them here, they could call a couple of timeouts and get the ball back.
Well, yeah, I'm a little surprised. Maybe they were looking to see what kind of a yardage gain they would get on first down to determine if they were going to hurry or not. But Ankeny looking very content to just let the clock run a little bit.
Second down, 6 to go. Bauer with the keeper. And no gain on that play. Under a minute now. And looks like Valley will call a timeout.
I think Coach Nelson is cut from the same mold as my grandfather. My grandpa used to always say, when the rest of the world runs, you walk. And when the rest of the world walks, you run. And, Ankeny had been running early, but Valley kind of got the tide change a little bit. Nelson just trying to slow it down a little bit and head into the locker room with a 7-point lead.
Valley, if they can win this opening round game of the playoffs, there's a good chance they would face Dowling in the second round. A lot of people have been looking at that possibility as the Maroons last we checked up on Fort Dodge 14-0. Is that the last score you saw?
That is the last score that I had seen. And I would think more than likely, no matter what, there will be a game here next week, whether Valley hosts the winner of the Dowling game or if it's Dowling hosting an Ankeny.
3rd and 6. Ankeny at their own 40-yard line. Bauer in shotgun position.
Reverse.
Here's another reverse. Double reverse, actually, for Connor Niffenegger. He will not get a first down. He does get about a 5-yard gain. No gain, actually.
Maybe a 2-yard gain. They're looking to see if he went out of bounds.
Okay.
Must have. The clock stopped there with 46.1 to go.
And here we go, J.J. Gass going back deep.
In for Ryan New.
Yeah, we saw Ryan come off the field holding his arm after that fumble. Good punt. And that was Carson Shelton with the return. Valley will have it at their own 13-yard line. Just 36 seconds to go. They have 1 timeout to work with.
I tell you, the only thing better than that punt was the coverage. To be able to drive the ball as far as he did, as high as he did, the coverage was right there, and a great tackle made to stop the returner. Now the question being, will Valley try to dial up some speed here and move the ball down, or are they content just making sure that they finish the half here without any more damage done?
Draw play to Fugate. Was there a fumble?
It appears there was.
Ankeny saying they have it. Ooh, Romello.
Second down.
Yeah. So Valley falls on the ball, keeps it, but Romello Gray rolling around holding his knee there for the Hawks. So a timeout on the field with 15 seconds to go in the first half. It's Ankeny 14, Valley 7. A timeout on CISN.TV.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
This is Romello Gray for Ankeny, their big nose guard. He's able to walk off on his own, but doesn't look like he's very comfortable.
Yeah.
So Valley fumbled the ball on that last play. Trey Fugate running the draw play. Lucky to come up with it. Ankeny thought they had it, but now it'll be second down and 11 for the Tigers. Just 15 seconds to go. Maybe after that fumble, they'll just decide to take a knee here. It's Wilcoxon. He's got some room across the 20, and he's actually got a first down. And Valley calls a timeout with 5 seconds left.
Did they call a timeout, or is it just to get the
just to move the chains?
My guess is the clock will go ahead and start running. Oh, he did call a timeout.
All right, so Valley does take their last timeout here. Coming up at halftime, we will hear from Tim Miller, a former principal here at Valley High School. Also, we'll get some thoughts from Clayton Sampson discussing what he's seen in the first half. And the owner of The Other Place, Troy Stedman, has stopped by the booth, and we'll hear from him. We want to thank The Other Place, serving your favorite since 1970, a big sponsor of Iowa High School playoff football here on CISN.TV. Keith, I was wondering, the marching band is not all dressed up tonight. During playoff football, do they not put on a show at halftime?
Not typically. I don't really know what the rule is as far as the home band being able to play at halftime. I think what it is the home band can actually play in the stands, but I don't know that there are any halftime performances in these early rounds.
Yeah. If you haven't seen them, you can hear the band right now playing on the Valley side. They are not in uniform, but having a good time here tonight at Valley Stadium. First down and 10. This will be the last play of the first half. It's a handoff to Trey Fugate. And that'll do it. Ankeny with a 14-7 lead on Valley at halftime on CISN.TV.
The trade-in, trade-up event at Shuttleworth Chevy Waukee. Up to 12.5 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off, or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off, or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Shuttleworth Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukieChevy.com.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at The Other Place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The Other Place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Welcome back to high school football on CISN.TV. It's Ankeny leading Valley 14-7 at halftime. I'm Pat Curtis, joined right now by former Valley principal Tim Miller. Tim, you just retired last year, as I understand it, after 4 years at Valley High?
You bet, Pat. My last day was the end of June, and first part of July I started the retirement.
All right, and you're enjoying it, I imagine.
Retirement's amazing. There's many things that I miss at Valley High School and in education, but I must say retirement's been great.
And prior to the 4 years at the high school, you spent some time as a junior high principal.
You bet. I was also, for 15 years before I went to Valley, I was a principal at Stillwell Junior High. So many of the kids had to put up with me a long time. I was their junior high principal and their high school principal.
All right. Well, I know that well. My father, I'm from eastern Iowa. Williamsburg is my hometown, and my father was a high school and junior high principal as well. So,
you bet. You bet.
What are some of the things you're doing in retirement? I understand you like fishing.
Well, I really like to go fishing. Took a big trip with my son and Dr. Doug Buchanan, former associate superintendent here in West Des Moines. We went up to Canada. We like to do that every year, so that was a big thing we got in. And then a couple trips also out to Colorado, seeing one of my sons. So it's been some travel and some relaxation, some fishing, and just enjoying life.
And keeping a home here in the metro?
You bet. Let's just live a few blocks from the stadium here.
Okay. And then do you head anywhere for the winter like my parents do?
No, I haven't got to it yet. My wife is still teaching. She's a reading teacher at Jordan Creek Elementary here in West Des Moines. So she's staying close and I'm staying with her.
All right. Heck of a football game out there. First half, your thoughts on what Valley and Ankeny are doing on the field?
You bet. Really good game. Concerned, obviously, as a Valley fan. We're down a touchdown. I'm glad we responded and got one there at the end of the second quarter. We've had a lot of turnovers. We put the ball on the ground a couple times. I think we can clean that up and get moving the ball like we were at the end of the second quarter. I think we'll be all right, but we've got to respond. Ankeny's playing very, very well right now.
All right. Tim, thanks a lot for your time. Enjoy the second half.
My pleasure, Pat. Thanks for having me.
We'll be back. It's 14-7 Ankeny on CISN.TV.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines. At halftime, it's Ankeny 14, Valley 7. I'm Pat Curtis, joined by Troy Stedman with the other place You're making this broadcast possible. Thanks a lot for doing so.
You bet.
Tell us about what you've been doing tonight.
Well, my night started out over at the Centennial game. Had a little interview with that game over there, and rolled over here right afterwards, and here we are. So lucky to get here by halftime.
All right. And tell us about the other place. I know there's a great location in Clive.
Yeah, we opened that location in 2012, and it's been going great ever since. West Des Moines has been a great supporter of that store, and we're sure glad to be here. So it's been a great run so far.
All right. Well, I'm a graduate of the University of Northern Iowa, so I spent a
Fantastic.
lot of time at the OP on the Hill.
You bet.
In Cedar Falls, and then, of course, there's a location in Waverly and some others around the state, I would think.
Well, the College Hill location in Cedar Falls is the original, actually. Okay. So 1970 is when that was. So, yeah, long time.
Well, I spent a lot of time there in the 90s. So
well, very good, very good.
And you've got some new locations in KC area?
Yeah, I've got 3 locations total in the Kansas City market, latest being in Shawnee. So, yeah, 3 there, and, enjoying this Kansas City Chief run here. So,
Is that your first time out of the state of Iowa? Or?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yep, sure is.
That's great. So, how are those locations going?
Very well. Doing great down there.
All right.
So glad to be there.
Kansas City likes their pizza.
They do, yeah.
All right, this is Troy Stedman with The Other Place. We want to thank him so much for making high school playoff football possible on CISN.TV. It's Ankeny 14, Valley 7 at halftime on CISN.TV.
You want to get stronger, faster, healthier. You want more. You want to be part of something bigger than yourself. A place for people of all ages, all walks of life, that provides opportunities for all to succeed. We do that. We're the why. Build more than muscle. Build a stronger community.
Hi, Ron here, head coach of Westside Auto Pros. When your car's on the injured reserve, you want to get it back in the game as soon as possible. I know that. That's why you need to bring it here to Westside Auto Pros. I have a team of experts that can fix almost every automotive injury. Whether it's a fractured joint, a brake, or if your car just got its bell rung, no problem. We can even do a complete physical on your car to make sure it's game ready for the entire season. So bring your car to Westside Auto Pros and we'll get it back in the starting lineup in no time. Hey, you guys are dogging it back here. Let's move it, move it, move it.
Miss your hometown clothing store? The one that had it all? Everything to get the work done, all in one place? G&L Clothing is your hometown Iowa store. Stop in and see us, or we're only a click or phone call away. Family owned for nearly a century. G&L Clothing, 1801 Ingersoll, Des Moines.
G&L Clothing, your size, your style, we've got it all.
Welcome back to Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, where it's the Tigers trailing the Hawks in this first round playoff game. 14-7 our score, as I'm joined by one of our great camera operators, Clayton Sampson. Clayton, you've joined us at halftime for a lot of these Valley home games, just to give us kind of what you're seeing out there on the field. Any surprises with the Hawks leading this one 14-7 at halftime?
Yeah, this is a halftime score I think a lot of people didn't expect right now. This number 2 Valley team being tested in the first half against the 5-4 Ankeny Hawks. But Valley under head coach Gary Swenson, I mean, they're no strangers to the high school football playoffs. They've been here before. They know what the atmosphere is like. They know what's at stake. But they also understand that no matter how good you play during the regular season, it really comes down to who's going to be hot in the postseason. And Valley so far this first half, I mean, nothing's really gone their way. They've had a few costly turnovers. They've had some broken plays. And they've just made a lot of mistakes in general. But also, I got to give a lot of credit to Ankeny because they've had some great quarterback play by their starting quarterback, Jace Bauer, who's had some great passes so far in this first half.
Yeah, a lot of exciting plays. Bauer hooking up with Brecht on pass plays of about 43 and 35 yards. And then Brecht with a pass to Bauer for a touchdown. That gave Ankeny the 7-0 lead in the first quarter. I was going to say, this Valley team, they've been down at halftime before. I can't remember the score of the Urbandale game, but at halftime, it wasn't looking too good for Valley.
Exactly, and for Valley, this is a team that for most of the season so far, they've been firing on all cylinders on the offensive and defensive side of the football. And this Valley defense coming into tonight had only let up 50 points all season, with half of those being when they played Waukee. So I mean, this defense has been pretty impressive. They've had solid quarterback play from senior Bo Lombardi, who's kind of struggled so far in the first half here today. So Valley's going to have to get in the locker room, go back to the drawing board, and see if they can draw something up to beat Ankeny into the second round next week.
All right, that's Clayton Sampson. I'm Pat Curtis. It's halftime. Ankeny leading Valley 14-7 on CISN.TV.
Trade in, trade up event at Shuttleworth Chevy Waukee. Up to 12,500 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade in, trade up in Waukee. Up to 19% off, or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off, or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade in, trade up at Shuttleworth Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your...
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Ankeny 14, Valley 7 at halftime. The Iowa High School Athletic Association needs your help to add registered sports officials in the 2018-19 school year. Officials are needed at all levels in all IHSAA-sanctioned sports. Officiating allows you to stay close to the game while serving as a community leader in action. And in Iowa, high school and junior high games can't take place without them. Visit IAHSAA.org or highschoolofficials.com for more information. Help the Iowa High School Athletic Association add one today. Keith, the team's coming back out on the field to start the second half. What do you think Coach Swenson had to say to the Tigers at halftime?
Well, the first thing that I would have to say in regards to this is not what Coach Swenson was talking about, but mostly what people are thinking in the stands, watching this on TV or online, is you always think about what the score could have been. Those costly turnovers by both teams, Valley losing a few down in the red zone, Ankeny losing a couple in midfield. And so you always wonder what the score could be. Well, in the locker room, Coach Swenson is not talking about what it could be. He's going to start talking about what it should be as we come out. And he is going to tell them exactly what Tim Miller told you at halftime. Clean it up. Ball security and keep moving it.
All right, it'll be interesting to see a few injured players that have left the game. Zach Shaner, the center for Valley, it seemed quite doubtful that he will return, but I'm wondering about Ryan New, who had the arm injury, the wide receiver for the Tigers. He's been running around on the sideline like maybe he could get back out there, but since he left the game, he has not come back in, so we'll have to watch for that.
And then another key injury that happened 2 weeks ago, Creighton Mitchell he's not even dressed for tonight.
I was going to ask about him. So he was injured 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he's out with an ankle injury.
So there's a runner for the Tigers who's gone over 500 yards this season as sort of the second man behind Trey Fugate. Also, a big injury for the Ankeny Hawks late in that first half. The nose guard, Romello Gray, limped off the field on his own, but did not look well. We'll just have to wait and see if he's going to be out there or not. But he's been a huge factor in this first half, putting pressure on Bo Lombardi. He's had at least been in on a couple of sacks.
Well, and you take a look at what Romello has done. He is drawing a double team and a triple team. That's going to leave your linebackers open. If you have to commit three offensive linemen to one guy, that means two guys are unblocked. And so he is kind of a key to the mid part of that Ankeny defensive line.
Our scoring plays, if you're just joining us here at halftime, Ankeny scored with 2:41 left in the first quarter on a bit of a trick play. It was a toss from the quarterback, Josh Bauer, to the running back, who then pitched it to wide receiver Brecht, who was coming in motion, and he found the quarterback Bauer in the corner of the end zone. That was just a 1-yard pass play, but that put Ankeny up 7-0 after the point after. The Hawks also scored with 5:35 left in the second quarter. That was an 11-yard run by Cale Boyd after he had a big, that was on a 3rd down and goal from the 11, so it was a huge play. Boyd running in and giving Ankeny a 14-0 lead at that point. And then with just under 2 minutes to go in the first half, Trey Fugate ran from 3 yards out. That put Valley on the board, and they trail here 14-7 as the Tigers kick off to begin the third quarter. It'll be a touchback.
Much better kick that time by Tinsley Wright. No question of where that ball landed or rolled out as it went 4 yards deep into the end zone. Be very interesting to see how Valley's defense responds. Ankeny has done a great job of outformationing Valley's defense right now, trying to keep them guessing as to where they're going to attack next.
Jace Bauer, the sophomore quarterback, passes to the far side. That is caught by Brody Brecht, knocked out of bounds after a 3-4 yard gain.
Brody Brecht is just a very big target, and he's a little slow to get up. You don't know if it's injury related or if it's just like cramping related. He's been pretty busy tonight.
Yeah, he had a catch earlier, kind of a post pattern in the first half where he limped off the field. I wonder if he's just not able to shake that, what looks like some sort of leg injury. 2nd down and 4 for the Hawks on their own 26. It's a handoff to Boyd, and nowhere to go on that 2nd down carry.
Nice job by Valley's interior there to sustain their gap, and then once there was no going forward, Bracken Cobb and company came in and helped finish off to make sure that the sides were sealed.
Brody Brecht back in there at the top of your screen, the wide receiver, number 11. Here's a pass play to the near side and a first down. Jace Bauer finding the receiver.
Cale Boyd out of the backfield.
Boyd out of the backfield, yeah.
You know, that's one of the things where Valley has been pretty successful this year, having their receivers also act as wide receivers. And Cale Boyd, no stranger to catching the football.
So 1st and 10, a pass play for Jace Bauer. He throws this one away as he was being pressured. A flag on the field, too.
Boy, I tell you, Jace Bauer threw that ball clear over to the sideline. And it went right to the guy who sets the helps set the chains. He wasn't even close to catching it. You can't throw it to the guys that aren't going to catch the ball.
So intentional grounding, basically the call there. We'll bring up 1st and 15 from their own 30. Bauer passing. He's got a receiver open, Jordan Cum, who's knocked out of bounds after maybe a 2-yard gain.
That was a great job by, let me see, the corner. I think John Shaner over there did a great job manning up the wide receiver. As Cum was coming in to get the ball, he had a receiver in there as a lead blocker, but Shaner wouldn't let him down the field at all, and they had to stretch the play out to the sideline.
Bauer looking to pass again. He's got a receiver, looks like it's caught at the 40-yard line. It'll still be 3rd and 5 to go for the first.
But Brody Brecht right back into it. I'm guessing it's just a leg cramping situation where he needs to come out, stretch it out, get a drink of water, get back in, make a catch.
Again, Brecht
intercepted.
Yep. And it's going to be a Valley touchdown. Is that Logan Kruzman?
Logan Kruzman with a huge interception return for a touchdown. And all he did, he set the edge, playing from that defensive end position, set the edge and stayed in the passing zone. Brody Brecht was coming in from the sideline, ready for a wide receiver slip screen. But Kruzman right there and just reached up with a couple of his paws, pulled it down.
One paw.
Yeah, pulled it down and ran it in.
All 6'5" of Logan Kruzman reaching up, snaring that ball, and the point after is good. We are tied at 14 early in the second half on CISN.TV.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, when you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
A 35-yard interception return for a touchdown by Logan Kruzman, the senior defensive end for the Tigers. And we're tied at 14. Ankeny jumped to a 14-0 lead in this first-round playoff game with Valley. But now the Tigers tying it up at 14, and a kickoff coming from Tinsley Wright.
Well, the defense for Valley came out, and they were ready. They settled in. They didn't make any mistakes, got the pick. Now they have to do it again.
Another touchback for Tinsley Wright.
Because one thing is for sure, Pat, Ankeny's not shying away from anything. They're not going to change the play calling. They're not going to change their schemes. They're going to continue to allow those sophomores that have played so well all year and developed into a great, great team. They're just going to let them keep plugging away at things. They can be a steady offense. They can also be a big play offense, as we have seen the connection between Bauer and Brecht. Yes, thank you.
Here's Bauer looking for Brecht, but now being chased out of the pocket. And terrific job there by another. I'm not sure what the penalty will be here.
Well,
Bracken Cobb applying the pressure, though.
Yes, there were two key Ankeny players that ended up on the ground. Brecht was down at the 45-yard line, and he hit the ground pretty hard with a little help. And then Jace Bauer also hit the ground. We're going to see what the call is here. Because he still had the ball, so I can't believe there'd be a roughing penalty. It could have been maybe some extracurricular words.
Grounding.
Oh, he must have tried to throw the ball.
Huh.
We missed the end of the play.
Well, I just thought he was, out of the pocket. I didn't know that.
Well, it's got to clear the line of scrimmage.
Oh, I see. So the penalty marches Ankeny back to their own 10. It's 2nd down and 21. Here's a running play. And about a 5-6 yard gain. It'll still be 3rd and long for Ankeny. Just over 9 minutes to go in the second half, or third quarter, I should say.
Nice job by Avery Bonacci coming up and shutting off the edge. That forced Boyd to turn back into Valley's defense.
3rd and 15. Bauer being chased and finds a receiver. It is caught at the 20, but that's Grant Moeller, his first catch of the game. It'll still bring up 4th and 10 and a punt coming from the Hawks.
Now, you certainly, as Ankeny, you don't want to do anything foolish at this point. You want to just settle in, change the field positions quite a bit, but at the same time, I'm not so sure that there wouldn't be some type of a fake there. But the punter put his knee down.
Oh, no.
First down at the 6 for Valley. That's a struggle for a lot of punters. If it's a low snap, being able to get down, cover the ball, get it back up and ready to punt without putting your knee down.
What a break for the Tigers. They will take over 1st and goal from the Ankeny 6.
Here I was anticipating the possibility of Coach Nelson dialing up some type of a fake to keep the momentum. Everything backfired on a normal punt situation. And Valley in, I'd say, striking range.
Fugate, the tailback, and he's wrapped up and dropped for a loss. And that is Ray J. Crawford.
Right now, Valley's offensive line is really struggling with the speed of Ankeny's overall defense, but especially their defensive line. If the entire defensive line is rushing as that hard every play, they're not opening gaps, but they're still putting a lot of pressure on.
A 4-yard loss. It's 2nd and goal from the 10. Here's Bo Lombardi rolling out to his right, overshoots his receiver.
And that right there will tell you just how impressive the Ankeny defense is right now. Bo Lombardi is not that much of an errant passer. And because of the pressure that was on there, it sped up his his thought process, and he had to make an adjustment and get rid of the ball before he was ready to. He had a wide open receiver out of the backfield. He also had a receiver deep in the end zone. He was not able to connect with either one.
Brecken Manis breathing down his neck. Another sophomore standout for the Hawks. Here's 3rd down and goal. And, somehow Lombardi gets away, but now he's met and dropped by Peyton Terry. Looks like we'll have a field goal from Tinsley Wright.
Great job by Ankeny. Not only did they have Bo Lombardi trapped, and when Bo was able to escape, the defensive backs were in a position there was nobody to throw to. That tackle was as much on the defensive backs as it was anybody else.
27-yard field goal attempt from the left hash mark is good. So Valley with their first lead of the game. It's the Tigers 17, the Hawks 14, 7:20 to go in the third quarter on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
A big turn of events here in the second half. Ankeny led this game 14-7 at halftime. It's now 17-14 Valley after an interception return of 35 yards for a touchdown by Logan Kruzman. Then Ankeny setting up to punt deep in their own territory. The punter had trouble handling the snap and fell to a knee on the 6-yard line. That's where Valley took over, but a good job by the Hawks to keep Valley from getting into the end zone. Instead, a 27-yard field goal by Tinsley Wright. It's 17-14 Valley. Another touchback here. Ankeny will take over their third possession of the second half at their own 20. Keith, I did notice that the big nose guard for Ankeny, Romello Gray, has been in there, so that's a good thing to see.
It's a very good thing to see. You certainly don't wish any ill or injury on anybody in a game that we all love. But that doesn't necessarily dial up any favors for Valley.
Here's a end around given to Connor Neffenegger, and he's got about a 5-yard pickup on that first down play.
Ankeny has been very successful on that sweep motion, that jet sweep motion, as he has picked up 5-6 yards each time, but they're running it out of a bunch set, so it's a little difficult to find when and where Neffenegger is going to get the ball. We got a guest coming up into the press box here.
Second down and 5. It looks like Ankeny has a first down on this run play.
Back-to-back jet sweeps by Neffenegger. And 2 plays of 6 yards each.
First down and 10. The Hawks move it out to their 32-yard line. Now dropping back is Jace Bauer, but overshoots Neffenegger on the near side here. It'll be second down and 10.
That was some pretty exceptional coverage by Nate Williams on Brody Brecht. Brecht has been the man when it comes to offensive receptions here tonight, but Williams had him covered up, and Ankeny needed to get rid of the ball, as they're doing right now.
A big bomb down to the 25-yard line, incomplete though. Jace Bauer showing off his arm, but incomplete. Good coverage by the Tigers. It'll be third down and 10.
That thing was 55 yards in the air across the field. That's impressive.
Yeah. Jace Bauer throwing for over 1,000 yards on the season, 12 touchdowns. Now it's third down and 10, and Bauer somehow gets away from the sack, and he's got Brecht open, but he can't hang on at the 40-yard line. It's juggled there. The coverage
by Nate Williams again.
All right.
And the one thing, it's very tough for a quarterback to run to his right and then throw all the way back across the field to his left. And he had a receiver wide open on the top of the field.
But now Ankeny will have to punt. It is fourth down and 10. They're at their own 32. Jake McCann, who does the kicking and punting for the Hawks. And the Tigers let this one go. They'll have it 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line, leading 17-14.
Be very interested to see the play calling here as Valley takes over on offense again, on whether or not they're going to try and just get those 3 and 4 yards, if they're going to do some quick hitters as far as quick receptions to the flats, and or if they're going to go back to Fugate and try and run up the middle. Regardless, I think they would have to be looking for some type of we'll call it 75-yard long sustained drive.
Lombardi takes the snap and hands off to Fugate, and he's met and dropped a 1-yard loss on that play. Connor Rainey, first time we've called his name for the Hawks in on that tackle.
And Fugate did that all on his own. Carter Lawrence was in the area, but he ended up being a spectator as Fugate made it to the man he was supposed to block before he did.
2nd down and 8. Lombardi again in shotgun. He's the lone back, and this will be a penalty on the Tigers.
Yeah, Fugate motioning into an empty backfield.
Sets up 2nd and 13 now. Penalties and turnovers have been a big part of this game. Valley with, or I should say Ankeny, committing 3 turnovers. Here's Lombardi. Somehow gets out of the tackle of Ray J. Crawford and completing a pass to the 30-yard line.
Nice job by J.J. Gass, the receiver there, as he was able to break off the route once he saw Lombardi in trouble there. Found himself wide open right there on the sideline. Bringing up 3rd and manageable.
3rd and 5 from their own 30. Under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Lombardi next to him is Fugate, and just misses connecting with J.J. Gass.
But that incompletion there was created by the incredible pass rush that Ankeny's defensive line is able to put together. Valley, if they are going to continue to have aspirations of winning this, they got to figure out a way to slow down Ankeny's defensive line.
Cole Peterson with another punt for Valley. And this will roll and be stopped at the 39-yard line. Ankeny, pretty good field position, their own 39 to start this possession, trailing 17-14. Iowa High School Playoff Football on CISN.TV is brought to you by Schottenkirk Chevrolet. If it's not the power price, it's not the lowest price. Also, the Better Business Bureau, recommendations you can trust.
Valley able to flip the field there just a little bit. And we found out 2 possessions ago just how important the long snap is as Ankeny touchdown, their punter touchdown. Matthew Mahoney coming in cold tonight, having some great long snaps.
A 1 or 2 yard pickup by Cale Boyd. Jacob McCudden in on the tackle.
He also had a little help from his buddy Avery Bonacci.
2nd down and 8 for the Hawks at their own 41. Bauer looking to pass, good protection, almost intercepted or going for the interception, but it was well over the 2 players over there.
Yeah, John Shaner coming in on the defense there. My mistake. Drew Urach. He's kind of been all over the place. He's had one interception tonight. He's actually had two, but there was a defensive holding on his other interception, so that was negated.
So 3rd down and 8 for Ankeny. Caught and good for a first down at midfield. Once again, Brody Brecht.
The other thing that Ankeny is doing is they're creating mismatches with Brody Brecht by the positions that he's been playing. He plays the inside receiver. He goes up against the linebacker. He plays the far outside receiver. He usually gets penned up against somebody he's got a good 4 or 5 inches height-wise against. So Ankeny doing a nice job mixing up the offense.
1st down and 10. Here's Cale Boyd with a good 6-yard pickup, running hard on that 1st down play.
Yeah, Pat, you think about it. As you look out on the field, do you see any players on the Ankeny side that you would stereotypically think, oh, that's a sophomore?
No. Here's a handoff on the end around. A flag is down. Again, this is Neffenegger on the carry, but will likely be coming back here. Oh, big penalty on Brody Brecht there.
Yeah, instead of the 1st down, they're now looking at got to be 2nd and what, 12?
Maybe even more than that.
15?
2nd and 15 for Ankeny. Now back in their own territory at the 45. 3:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. A 3-point lead for the Tigers right now. Here's Cale Boyd. He's got an opening, and he keeps on his feet. A big gain of 25 yards.
And again, Ankeny not changing anything schematically. They just keep plugging away on the things that they have done all year. Great job on not quitting anywhere. Coming in as big underdogs, but certainly not playing like it.
Yeah, they're giving Valley all they can handle tonight here in this 1st round game. They took a 14-0 lead, now trailing 17-14, but putting together a good drive here. Here's a sweep play to Boyd. About a 3-yard gain will bring up 2nd down and 7.
Roy Jensen coming in to make the tackle. One of the things that you don't ever want to do as a tackler, you don't want to sit and wait for it. When you stop moving, you lost every advantage that you may have had and given it all back to the running back.
5 receivers set for Bauer, who throws it out to Jordan Cum, and he's close. Well, just short of a 1st down. It'll be 3rd down and 2 for Ankeny. This drive started on Ankeny's own 20, right? After the field goal?
Well, Valley had to punt.
Oh, that's
on
right.
This one. So I think it started about the 35 or 40.
Yeah. 3rd down and 2. Bauer with the keeper. Does he have a 1st down? It'll be close. He appears to have it. It is a 1st down. Now under 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
I'm impressed with the Bauer kid. He is really showing that he can execute this Ankeny offense very well, and he certainly has the respect of his teammates.
Here's Cale Boyd up the middle. about a 3-4 yard gain. So Ankeny, again, starting this drive around the 35-yard line, and they've driven down to the Valley 18. 2nd and 6. Bauer passes to Brecht, close to a first down.
He is just an impressive specimen out there, that Brody Brecht.
He hasn't dropped anything that's hit his hands.
Yes. And he's been the inside guy. He's been the outside guy. He's been the possession receiver. He's been the deep receiver. Anything you've needed him to do, he's been able to do.
Now under a minute to go in the third quarter. Ankeny putting together a great drive here. They've got 1st and 10. Another end around for Neffenegger, and that did not work. He's dropped for a 2-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 12.
Bracken Cobb doing a great job setting the edge and not allowing anybody to get outside of him. Neffenegger really didn't have anywhere to go.
Three receivers to the near side. Boyd, the running back, behind Bauer. Now Boyd takes the pass after he goes in motion and gets close to the 10-yard line. That'll be our last play of the third quarter. At the end of 3, it's Valley 17, Ankeny 14 on CISN.TV.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
Trade-in, trade-up event at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to 12.5 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to 6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. WaukeeChevy.com.
It's Valley 17, Ankeny 14. The Hawks have the ball. They've been driving. They're down to the 10-yard line of Valley, and 3rd and 8 coming up here, Keith.
Yeah. Before we talk about the play just a little bit, I'm always reminded, you watch those broadcasters on TV and they're always up in the press box, and they say, the press box is always warm and all those different things. The camera pans onto them. They're always wearing some type of a winter coat. I kind of understand that.
Yeah. We've got our window open here tonight, and my feet are cold. Here we go, 3rd and 8. Bauer looking to pass, looking for the corner of the end zone, and Brecht with the catch, a touchdown for the Ankeny Hawks. He just went up and got it.
He did. The ball was thrown in a perfect position, and it wasn't thrown over just any average defensive back. One of Valley's most decorated defensive backs, Drew Urach, a great corner, safety actually, but Brody Brecht still has 4 inches on these guys, and basketball player, he's been able to jump out of the gym and certainly up off the field.
The point after is good. So the first play of the fourth quarter is a 10-yard touchdown pass from Bauer to Brecht, and the PAT makes it 21-17 Ankeny on CISN.TV.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
Pat Curtis and Keith Bornes on CISN.TV after that Ankeny touchdown. And Keith, that was about a 65-yard, real time-consuming drive for Ankeny.
Yeah, they did a great job just nickel and diming, and if they made a mistake, they answered their own mistake. They were, they didn't get down on themselves. I'm very impressed with the poise that Bauer is showing, that Brecht is showing, that Boyd is showing. And, Ankeny's defense, all they're doing is stiffening up as well. So this fourth quarter is going to be very interesting.
Here's a chance for a return.
Jaden Williams.
Boy, that started off, it looked like it wasn't going to be much for the Tigers. But he does get it out to the 25-yard line.
Yeah,
I think he wanted to see if that ball was going to bounce out of bounds.
Yeah, and after the first hop, it didn't go the correct direction, and so he followed it, picked it up off the second bounce, and kind of picked his way up through, and had a fairly decent return.
Actually, the ball marked at the 23. That's where Valley starts. So a very impressive drive by Ankeny. Let's see if the Tigers can answer back. Trailing 21-17. Trey Fugate up the middle. And a good pickup on first down of about 6-7 yards.
A great job. J.J. Gass goes across the field as he's sent in motion. And Trey Fugate, he has been grinding out some yards tonight, and they've been tough yards.
2nd down and 4. Again, Gass in motion. Lombardi passing, caught at the 40-yard line, and a first down for the Tigers. Parker Marshall, the first time we've heard him. Again, Ryan New not in there.
Yeah, great route by Marshall, but what I was really impressed with is Lombardi was able to handle the snap. It was a little bit high. It spun him around, and he was still able to gather his wits and make a great throw to the sideline.
Whoa, J.J. Gass able to pluck that one out of the air and run for a first down.
I'm not sure what direction that ball was going to end up going, as Ankeny sniffed that out very quickly. Gass had to reach back behind him to make the catch and then snuck upfield.
So Valley driving here into Ankeny territory, right at midfield. 1st and 10.
Well, the official's not liking something. Maybe calling someone out to start a little early. And that's been one thing. Going back to, we don't know what the score could have been. But both teams have really hurt themselves by just not playing clean.
I don't know how many penalties haven't been able to count that, but there have been a lot.
Well, who can count that high? Need a math degree just to figure out how many penalties there are.
Lombardi taking the snap and throws to Marshall. Good for a first down at the Ankeny 36-yard line.
That was a college throw and catch. Lombardi had that ball in the air long before Marshall turned around. And when Marshall did turn around, it was right there, and he still was able to make that catch. It came in hot. Nice timing route.
A dart from Lombardi to Marshall. First down and 10. Valley at the 36 of Ankeny. Lombardi again dropping back and not finding any open receivers. He'll run and is knocked out of bounds after about a 3-yard gain. That was Romello Gray running over from the nose guard position.
Yeah, they kind of said hello to each other. But, Lombardi, not your typical quarterback at 6'3", 230 pounds. He can deliver a punch himself. Nice heads-up play to, instead of just trying to throw the ball away, get what you can. And it ended up being positive.
It is 2nd and 7. Here's a handoff to Fugate. And he busts a tackle. He's at the 20. He's loose at the 15. He's caught up to by Ray J. Crawford. But that is about a 20-yard pickup for Fugate. And first down and 10, Valley at the Ankeny 13.
Certainly the type of drive that Valley was hoping for. Again, it's not about the points that happen to you. It's about the points you get back after that.
Lombardi under center gives it to Fugate. He's stretching this play out and coming up and making a nice tackle. Number 42, Mo Watson. About a 1-yard loss on that one. It'll be 2nd down and 11 from the 14. 9 minutes to go in the ball game. 21-17. Ankeny on top of Valley.
Mo Watson, no stranger to making plays on Ankeny's defense, came into this game tonight with 33 tackles on the year, an interception, and 2 fumble recoveries.
Lombardi drops the snap and lucky to pick it up and is then dropped for a loss. It'll be 3rd down and 12. Not a bad snap, just kind of, for whatever reason, Lombardi just didn't hang on to it.
Well, it's not that it's a good snap or a bad snap. Sometimes it's just the rhythm of the snap. He's been used to Zach Shaner all year, and so sometimes just the speed of the ball coming back. So when he claps his hand getting ready for the ball, it's not right there when he wanted it or was expecting it because of the change in centers.
Again, Zach Shaner, the normal center for the Tigers, left the game with an injury in the first half. Lombardi finds Wilcoxon very close to a first down on that 3rd down and 14. No signal yet. It's very close.
It's close. I'm guessing they're going to do a measurement here. But I'm telling you, Nate Wilcoxon has as good a hands as anybody on the team. And he's one of those guys that can just sneak out into the middle of the field, out to the sidelines. He's been able to get downfield. And because he's a fullback, you don't always take into account where he is.
As you can hear from the Valley crowd, it's a first down for the Tigers. 1st and goal from the Ankeny 3-yard line.
Now, Valley has been down in this situation before. They took over on the Ankeny 6, but only came away with 3. Valley does need to get a capitalizing score here if they're going to try and take the lead and get a victory.
Trey Fugate knocked around in the backfield, but he stays on his feet and is in for a touchdown. Touchdown Tigers, and they take the 23-21 lead with the point after coming up. That's the 2nd touchdown run of the night for Fugate, both from 3 yards out. Tinsley Wright has made all of his point after attempts tonight. And this one is good too. A 3-point lead now for Valley. It's the Tigers 24, the Hawks 21, 7:30 to go in the ball game on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship. who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
So Ankeny with a 65-yard drive to score a touchdown and take a 21-17 lead. Valley comes back with a long 77-yard drive, capped off by a 3-yard run by Fugate. And now the Tigers back on top, 24-17, with the kickoff coming from Tinsley.
24-21.
Excuse me. This one will be returned. The last few kicks have been touchbacks. And bringing it out to the 22-yard line, that's Nick Shirley. So let's see if Ankeny can answer back. Now trailing 24-21.
Yeah, Nick Shirley, a pretty impressive guy in his own right, came in with 2 interceptions on the year, got his third one tonight. He also has 34 and a half tackles coming into tonight. He knows his way around the football field a little bit.
Jace Bauer, the sophomore quarterback, with the keeper. And a good pickup on first down of about 8 yards.
Logan Kruzman came in off the side, and when Bauer took off up the middle, Kruzman was able to get his hand into the shirt, into the jersey, and Bauer just drug him for an additional 4 yards before Bonacci was able to jump in and help out with the tackle.
Bauer by himself in the backfield, looking to pass. Instead, he'll run, and he's got a first down to the 35-yard line.
Ankeny certainly not in any type of a urgent mode. There's plenty of time on the clock, and they just came off of a very successful 65-yard drive that took up quite a bit of clock. They're just trying to mimic what they'd done earlier.
McCann again in shotgun, fakes the handoff and finds the receiver Jordan Cum on the near side. A pickup of 5-6 yards on first down. It'll be 2nd and 4.
A nice route there, and everybody's, expecting Bauer he's trying to lull him to sleep by going up the middle and then turning out and hitting Cum on the edge route.
Here's an end around again. And this is Cale Boyd, the running back. Very close to a first down. It's 3rd and 2.
That's back-to-back plays by Nathan Williams to get stops on the ball carriers.
6 minutes to go in the game. 3rd and 2, Ankeny at their own 43. Bauer looks to run, and he's going to get the first down and tripped up on the far side. Boy, Valley had a lot of chances to stop him for a loss.
They did have, and Valley is not very pleased right now, as there was a block in the back that Ankeny was able to, get by somehow. But nonetheless, Bauer, a great job getting to the outside and getting that first down.
Here's Bauer, a handoff to Boyd, who's got a lot of room. Close to another first down into Valley territory now at the 44. It'll be 2nd down and 1.
Pat, it's not getting any warmer. It's just cooling right down.
It is. It was 54 at the 52 at the start of the game. I'd say it's dropped about 10 degrees since then. 51.
Little false start there by Ankeny.
Brings up second down and 7.
You know we're getting close to the Halloween season when the moon is full like that.
The harvest moon starting to come out of the clouds above Valley Stadium. Here we go, 2nd and 7. Bauer looking to pass and now run, and knocked out of bounds into his into some of his teammates. Let's see where they mark him out. He's short of a first down by about 2 yards. So 3rd and 2 coming up here.
And that is, what, the 100th time tonight that Bauer has seemingly been in reach of a Valley defender, but able to maneuver his way around and get out of it. That is the poise of a very seasoned quarterback, not your typical sophomore.
Under 5 minutes to go in the ball game. A critical 3rd down and 2 call here. Bauer with the keeper. And he's so close to a first down.
It's going to be an interesting spot. According to the far side, he's short. To the near side, we'll see what it is. They're saying 4th down.
Boy, yeah, just inches.
Clock continues to run.
I think Ankeny wants a timeout.
Well,
I think maybe they were asking, why aren't you measuring this?
Well, they're going to call a timeout here with 3:55 left to go in the 4th.
All right. Timeout here on CISN.TV.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
Here's the situation. Valley leading Ankeny 24-21. Just under 4 minutes to go in the ball game. Ankeny has been driving. They now have it in Valley territory at the 42, but they're just a couple inches short of a first down. It is 4th down for the Hawks, and they are going for it.
Valley's defense needs to make sure they watch the ball, don't jump off sides, but at the same time, they got to be ready for a sneak.
And that's
they
what
are.
it is.
And they are.
It would appear. Boy, they gave him
they are
some
saying,
progress. It's going to depend where the ball
I think
is.
they're saying Valley first down.
The near side judge placed the ball.
Yeah, the Ankeny side judge over there, he said it was Ankeny or Valley ball. The near side placed it. From my vantage point, it looks like it's going to be a first down for Ankeny.
Oh my gosh, he's quite a bit short.
Wow.
So,
what side of the press? I must be clear on the south side of the press box.
I thought where they placed the ball, that was going to be a first down.
I did too.
They stretch the chains, and Valley takes over. 1st and 10 at their own 43-yard line, leading 24-21.
Ball security now is going to become a very important thing.
Ankeny has 2 timeouts.
2 timeouts left, so they can still stop the clock. But it's got to be a heavy dose of Trey Fugate and Trey Fugate and maybe a little Trey Fugate as they certainly come up in that typical pro formation.
Wow, it's Fugate, like you called it. Oh, maybe a face mask there. It will be. And a first down carry for Fugate. He'll get some more tacked on.
One of the officials threw his flag 21 yards. That guy's got a cannon. And there was no doubt about it. We could see it up here, and so did 3 of the 5 officials as 3 flags hit the turf, and another one was reaching for his flag but said, those guys got it.
So one play, Valley moves from their own 43 down to the Ankeny 27.
Valley still in a situation where they'd like to come away with a touchdown here because 3 points still only makes it a 6-point game.
First down and 10, Valley at the Ankeny 28. Fugate up the middle, pumping those legs, and a 5-yard pickup on first down.
In a perfect world for Coach Gary Swenson, this drive will take 3 minutes and end in a touchdown. In an okay world, it'll take 3 minutes and Valley still having the ball.
It'll be interesting when Ankeny decides they need to start taking some
That's
timeouts.
Right. They got to preserve the clock, but they're confident in their defense too.
Here's Fugate wrapped up in the backfield. He stays in bounds, so the clock will keep moving. Now, Ankeny trying to see if they...
Yep, Ankeny called their timeout, or one of their 2 timeouts. And a great time to call that, as there was a loss of 1 on the play. So it brings up 3rd and 5.
We'll keep it here. Valley leading 24-21, 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Again, Ankeny was driving and had 4th and inches with 4 minutes to go in the game, trying to drive and either tie it or take the lead. But they were stopped on that 4th and 1 at the Valley 43, so Valley took over. And now the Tigers trying to put this one away.
You know, we had talked earlier at one of our breaks, you know, how many players Valley has going both ways, which they don't, and how many Ankeny has going both ways, and they have a few that are. And in a game like this, you know, that has to start to wear down a little bit. And so you wonder if that had anything to do with that 4th and inches that ended up being 4th and feet.
Here's 3rd and 5 from the 23 for Valley. J.J. Gass in motion, and this will be a penalty on Valley.
And again, you're looking at Bo Lombardi and Mason Ayers talking to each other about getting just that rhythm down of getting the snap. A couple guys get moving faster on the, they hear the clap. And
we were wrong.
We were wrong.
Delay of game on Ankeny is the call.
I'm not sure how that works.
I've never seen a delay of game on the defense.
Yeah, that is the first time I have ever seen that call. Might be worth our while to look up how that happens.
Well, the clock starts moving. 2.5 to go in the game. 1st and 10 Valley. Now at the Ankeny 18-yard line.
I still see number 7 in the backfield.
It's a give to number 7, Trey Fugate. Dropped at the line of scrimmage by Romello Gray.
The final timeout for Ankeny has been called.
All right, let's take a timeout ourselves on CISN.TV.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not what you lose, just that you give your best. It's not embrace the moment, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Second down and 9 coming up for Valley. We tried to check on that delay of game call on Ankeny. We think they may have done something to misplace the ball. That was
either before the snap or during the snap.
All right. So 2 minutes to go, 2nd and 9. Here's an end around play, knocked for a loss. Uh-oh. Big mistake by the Ankeny player.
Yep.
Max Griffin, the linebacker, was wrapped up with a Valley player and shoved him to the ground after the play was over. Personal foul on the Hawks. So it would have been 3rd down and long.
Now a 1st and goal. And there's no way for Ankeny to stop the clock.
It's a shame for...
Well, and you take a look at Max Griffin. He's had a great year. He is a wide receiver and a linebacker, senior. Just a tough break. Emotions get high in this, and when you're tied up with people, you're not sure if you're shoving or still just greeting each other.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 10-yard line. Bo Lombardi with the quarterback sneak. This will be close to the 1st down, depending where the spot is. But again, Ankeny unable to stop the clock now. It's ticking, 1:15 to go in the ball game. Valley with a 3-point lead and the ball.
And I did get messed up there on what the mark-off would be. They're inside the 20, and so that personal foul is going to be a half the distance to the goal. So it took them to the 11 or 10.
Looks like Valley will let this tick down and then call a timeout. 3rd and 1 from the 9. It is a timeout for Valley. They lead 24-21, just 47 seconds to go. Let's take a quick timeout on CISN.TV.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
47 seconds to go. Valley calling a timeout here. They have 2 more left, but they want the clock to move actually here. But a big 3rd down and 1 play coming up here for Valley at the Ankeny 9-yard line. I think Lombardi a quarterback sneak. That's what it is.
And the line just keeps on going.
A 1st down, then that will pretty much end the ball game.
Now it's just about hanging on to the ball as you have your center quarterback exchange. They'll have to run one more play. And this truly was a story of halves.
Yeah, at halftime, Ankeny led Valley 14-7. Bo Lombardi taking a knee. Ankeny cannot stop the clock. So Valley will hold off a tremendous challenge from the Ankeny Hawks. The final score, Valley 24, Ankeny 21. The Tigers move in to the quarterfinal round of the 4A playoffs. We'll try and check who they will face in the quarterfinals during this timeout on CISN.TV.
The trade-in, trade-up event at Shuttlenkirk Chevy Waukee. Up to $12,500 off select new 18 Silverado Crew Cab LTs. Up to $6,000 off select new 18 Colorado ZR2s. Trade-in, trade-up in Waukee. Up to 19% off. Or choose $500 plus 0% for 72 months on new 19 Chevy Equinox LTs. Over 20% off. Or get $1,000 plus 0% for 72 on new 18 Chevy Trax. Trade-in, trade-up at Shuttlenkirk Chevy Waukee. Chevy, find new roads. Waukee Chevy.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at Mid-American Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Pat Curtis back at Valley Stadium in West Des Moines, where the Valley Tigers have defeated Ankeny 24-21, and it looks like Valley will have a rematch against Dowling one week from tonight.
There really isn't anything from a Valley standpoint, from a Dowling standpoint, from Central Iowa standpoint. There really isn't anything more exciting than a Valley-Dowling game, and it's going to be right here at Valley Stadium next Friday night, here on CISN.TV, and it'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a very interesting matchup, as Dowling certainly has something to prove. They've won the last 5. They don't want that streak to end, but Valley has had a victory over them already once this year. They'd certainly like to do it again.
Dowling beating Fort Dodge tonight 41-0. And here, Valley had to come from behind to beat a great Ankeny team.
Yeah, we said a story of halves, 14-7 in the first half. You take a look at what Valley did in the second half, being a 21-7 in the, or a 17-7 in the second half. A great game, but you also have to remember that when people only look at records, it shouldn't have been a close game. But when you look at what kind of a team Ankeny has developed into, that is by far the best 5-5 team in the state as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. We'll come back and recap the scoring. Again, Valley beating Ankeny 24-21, moving into the quarterfinals of the 4A playoffs, where they'll face Dowling next Friday night here at Valley, 7 p.m. Back after this on CISN.TV.
There's no doubt about it. Saving feels great. At Mid-American Energy, we love saving too. Saving the environment by supporting tree planting, which improves air quality. Saving money by investing in wind energy, which keeps rates low. And saving you energy by providing tips to help make your home more energy efficient. Which means you can take those savings and put your energy into having fun. Saving definitely feels great. So does being obsessively.
Is this guy a contractor who does good work or a contractor who needs work? For a reliable recommendation, trust the Better Business Bureau, protecting consumers for over a century. When you go to bbb.org to check out a business, you'll learn if it's BBB accredited, see its grade on customer service, and read honest, useful reviews from local people. For online recommendations you can trust, start with trust at bbb.org/Iowa.
Building a strong community doesn't happen overnight. It takes a vision for the future, the ability to turn a challenge into a success, and individuals who inspire new generations of growth. Greater Des Moines has done a lot of growing over the years, and so have we. At Brick Gentry Law, your success is something that we create together. Thank you for making us a part of your community. Thank you for 50 years.
The quarterfinal round of the 4A playoffs here at Valley next Friday night. It'll be Dowling against Valley. These two teams met in week 2, Keith, and the Tigers won that one 20-6. But these two teams are very different from what they were in week 2.
They are very different from what they were. That was the first time that Dowling had been held without a touchdown. And, the match, it all boils down to your matchups. And next week it's going to be size on size. It's going to be strength on strength. They're more suited toward each other than they are, Ankeny tonight. Valley had to do an incredible amount of work to get past them because they have such great overall team speed. And that is one of the things that both Valley and Dowling had struggled with this year. Dowling struggled with it against Centennial. Valley struggled with it here tonight with Ankeny. They also struggled with it against Waukee. So the matchup next Friday night is going to be very interesting as one team wants to continue to control their destiny and another wants to regain their destiny.
This game came down to ultimately Ankeny was driving, trailing 24-21. It came down to a 4th down and 1 play at the Valley 43, a quarterback sneak that Valley was able to stop.
What a huge defensive surge by Valley's defensive line to be able to get that stopped. Jace Bauer, you can't say enough great things about that young man. And the team that Ankeny is going to become next year and the following year with all that sophomore power they have. But in that play, it was a huge turnaround. Now, there's something else to think about here, and it's going to come down to special teams play. The 3 points that Valley got off of the miscue by Ankeny's punter, by McCann, who had to go down after a low snap. And thinking about the fact that Zach Shaner went down and sophomore long snapper Matthew Mahoney had to come in a tough spot, hasn't played a varsity snap all year. He comes in as the center, the long snapper, and delivered several key long snaps on extra points, on the field goal, and it's most certainly on those punts. So that in itself was a great job, somebody stepping up and playing bigger than they are.
All right. For Valley, Trey Fugate with a couple of 3-yard touchdown runs. Logan Kruzman had a huge interception early in the second half, taking it back 35 yards for a touchdown. Also, Tinsley Wright, you mentioned kicking that field goal from 27 yards out after the Ankeny punter took a knee at the 6-yard line, so Valley wasn't able to punch it in, but that was kind of the difference, that 27-yard field goal by Wright, at least on the scoreboard. Valley winning here tonight over Ankeny 24-21. Again, Valley will play host to Dowling, a rematch of a Week 2 game. That will be the quarterfinal round game in the 4A playoffs. Dowling at Valley, 7 p.m. kickoff next Friday night here on CISN.TV. We'll have the call. Keith Bornes and Pat Curtis saying good night from Valley Stadium in West Des Moines.
For the ultimate one-of-a-kind game day experience, make a stop at the other place. The game is on and drinks are cold with game day specials for every fan. Serving Iowa's best pizza since 1970, it's the place for the whole family. With a mouth-watering menu and state-of-the-art audio-video system, make the OP one of the most exciting destinations for sporting events viewing. The other place, American Sports Grill and Pizzeria. Join in on this Iowa tradition, serving the Midwest since 1970.